Hello everybody, and a long overdue welcome back to Pete's Plastic Playground. Sunday afternoon, just had a nice roasty chicken dinner, so I'm out here in the cave with a nice pint of beer. So cheers everybody, your good health, and I hope you're all keeping well. Quick sippers if you don't mind. Perfect. So it's been a while. I think it's about 5 or 6 weeks since I bored you all to tears with my ramblings and stuff that you've seen elsewhere on YouTube before. There's nothing new here, folks. What's been going on? Well, I'm a decade older now than I was when I last spoke to you. So the big 6-0 has been and gone. So we've got over that one. But my friends and family were very generous towards me. And among other things, I've now got a new Humbrol. I call it a PlayStation because it sounds better than workstation, doesn't it? So I've got a new PlayStation and a cutting mat. And build wise, I've been steaming into this old bird. The I bent the python on the wing. The old Airfix 172 Armstrong Whitworth Whitley Mark V. Not done a bad job of the canopy. Come out reasonably well. Got the decals on, and it's time to give it a little bit of weathering and a bit of varnish, and see if we can make it look half decent. So there's no exposed panel lines or anything like that. I've done it on the ground with various doors and things open, and I'm proposing to, you know, maybe have it being reloaded with bombs or something like that. So I haven't put the bombs inside it at all yet. So that's that. It's been the Whitworth mainly, but having said that, since I last spoke to you, my work's been incredibly busy and I haven't spent much time doing any building. What I've done has been sort of like 10 or 15 minutes here and there, so not really conducive with getting a job done. But there it is. The Whitworth is coming along nicely, and so the light is at the end of the tunnel. Additions to the stash. Well, I brought a cheapy airbrush on Amazon. I've yet to spend a significant sum on an airbrush, but this one came with a little set with various nozzles and pins and so on, or needle sizes or so on. So I'll give it a go, see how we get on. But I promise you, next time I buy an airbrush, and I know I've said before that I kind of struggle with airbrushing on the basis that I've spent more time cleaning the bloody thing than I do actually painting models. I'm not prepared to spend an awful lot of money on an airbrush just yet. So additions to the stash. Ta-da! This is going to be my next project. An FRS1 Harrier and a Skyhawk. So as we speak, where are we? At the beginning of May. I mean, the Falklands War 39 years ago was happening, wasn't it? And those terrible times. But I do fancy this Dogfight double of the FRS1 Sea Harrier and the Argentine Skyhawk. So I'll give it a go. I've seen a lovely diorama that a chap made where he'd put a photo background of San Carlos water, and he had a missile being fired from the Harrier, and it was a fantastic diorama. Not going to try and replicate that. I'm just going to build the models to the best of my ability and put them on the Dogfight double stand that comes with the model, just as a nice display. So so that's and this is one from Facebook Marketplace. Honestly, keep an eye on Facebook Marketplace, because very often you'll hit a bargain there. There was a chap recently who had a Sunderland, which if I didn't already have one, I'd have been tempted to buy, because he only wanted about 15 or 20 quid for it. So that's the Sea Harrier and the Skyhawk for the next project. Now, turning our attentions to land warfare. I wanted to get my hands on this newly tooled Sherman Firefly. Couldn't find it on its own in my local model shop, so I went to another model shop and found it in this nice classic conflict set with a tiger. And so I was absolutely delighted, because price wise, you know what, 20 quid for those two lovely kits and the paints and the brushes and the glue, that's an absolute bargain. There's hours and hours of fun inside this kit, and so I don't think it'll be too long, although they've fallen into the stash. I don't think it'll be too long before I turn my attention to this. I'm not thinking about a diorama, but I think as two individual models, I think they're brilliant. Absolutely lovely little kits. Do you want to have a look inside the box? Of course you do. Let's move things around a bit and make some room. Move the water over there. Move the PlayStation over there. Move my pint so I don't spill it all over the work surface. Where's a little knife? Here we go. So, well, I hope everybody's keeping well anyway. It's things are slowly starting to get back to normal now, aren't they, one way and another. We can go to the shops again, and fingers crossed, you know, come the autumn, we might be able to get to a modelling exhibition or something like that. A nice, the box has been put in upside down. It should have been the other way up, shouldn't it? But there we are. At least it's there. So, another quick look at the artwork on the box. I think it's very attractive. It's alright, it wasn't the beer, just a little sign. So, I hope you like seeing that classic conflicts Tiger 1 from Normandy, France, 1944, and a Sherman Firefly 5C, the Staffordshire Yeomanry's 27th Armour Brigade, Operation Goodwood, Normandy, France, June 1944. So it's one of ours. Yeah, that's an astounding amount of detail compared to the old Sherman that we've known and loved for 150 years. It's very, very different. So here's the Tiger in good old brown plastic. Should we open up the sprues? Yes, let's do that. There we go. I'm happy to open this one up because I know I'm going to be building it. Crikey, there's a lot of plastic in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate plastic sprues in here. So there's the main body and sort of hull of the tank. Excuse me, I need to take a sip. Got a little tickle in my throat. Again, cheers everybody. Banks's Bitter, 89p a pint in Aldi. You can't go wrong, can you? Wonderful. Next, sprue, wheels, and looks like rigid sections of spare track to stick onto the side of the model. Not sure about that, but wheels and bits on there. Next section, turret, cannon, the main gun. So that's all there. I have to say, it's nice thick solid plastic. It's not the old sort of polythene stuff. Ugh. Tracks are all rigid moulded, so that's a bit of a letdown. At least you haven't got to mess around sticking it together with super glue and this, that and the other, so you can still make a decent fist of it. And there's some ancillary parts on there, some bits of steel cable, which I think is to do with retracking the reapplying the tracks to the wheels and so on. Some drive cogs and bits of suspension by the look of it. So that's the Tiger. I have to say, it's an awesome vehicle, really mean, purposeful looking thing. I won't mess around putting those bits of plastic back in the bag yet, because you don't want to watch me do that. Turning then to the Sherman, which is the sort of new tool variant. Quick slice across there. And so for the Sherman there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues of plastic. And so there we are, the hull of the tank there, with some, you know, some sort of half decent surface detail on there compared to the old offering. It's most acceptable. Nice detailing with that grill and so on. Again, rigid tracks, and the bogies all molded as one piece, so there's less fun to be had with that. It is pretty basic, isn't it? But there we are. It's in a small scale, and the end result is a cracker. Another sprue of bits and pieces to stick on the outside of the model. What have we got there? Looks like a shovel and some odds and ends, links of spare track links and so on that might be mounted on the side of the tank. And then a bit more detail. There's some more flexible track sections that you can use if you choose to. And actually, the option, yeah, look, there it is the option to build up the bogies and the tracks yourself. So this is a combination of a simple variant or the more complex variant if you choose to do it, which I think I certainly shall. So I'm really chuffed with that. I think for 20 quid, that's a lot of fun. A lot of value for money there, so hats off to Airfix for that. Standard gift set tubs of acrylic paint. I brought some, I went to a model shop down in Kent the other day. I went to Model World in Sittingbourne, and in there they had some very, very keenly priced sets of Mig paints, and there was a set of 3 German infantry colours, German armour colours, and some browns and some reds and some greens. Sort of 7 or 8 quid for a set of 3 or 4 paints. So the thing I like about it, listen to that, it's got a little ball bearing shaker in it to mix it up. So whether you're using it in an airbrush or with the brush on its own, I think Mig Paints, I'm happy to give them a try, see what they're like. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, here we are, the book of words. So here are the instructions for the classic conflict set. Oh, and the sheet of decals has just fallen out, so I'll show you those. Not too many on a tank, of course. So there's the decal sheet. Very nice. And the classic conflict gift set, Tiger 1 and Sherman Destructions. Now, where are we? We've got for the Tiger, but there's options, so you can do the tracks yourself, or you can cheat and just do the rigid sections. Well, I say cheat, it depends on your ability, I suppose. If you're a newcomer to the model, or if you're a certain person like me who's not blessed with the greatest deal of patience in the world, then you can actually take your choice. But just looking at the instructions there, it's fairly clearly set out about how you can establish the tank tracks on this model. In fact, crikey, for a small model, given that there are this many options, we're on to, where are we? Before the model is finished, we're up to section 61 for a 172 scale tank. That's quite impressive, isn't it? So so that's the Tiger, and then there's the paint scheme for the Tiger just there. Okay, so I think it's going to turn out to be a lovely model, however you choose to build it. And then it's the same again for the old Sherman Firefly. There's the option to do the rigid running gear, the tracks and the wheels, the bogies, or you can do the self-assembly tracks, depending on your mood, your patience, your ability, and so on. I think this one looks a little bit simpler than the Tiger, if I'm honest. Let's see how many sections there are in the instruction book to follow. Slightly fewer. So we are up to, where are we? Turn the page. Just up to section 55 before it all starts to come together. Okay. So that's the Sherman, and on the back there, the painting guide. So all in all, I'm really chuffed with that purchase. I think it's a great little kit, and as I say, I know you say it all the time when you add a kit to the stash, don't you? Think, oh, I don't think it'll long before I build that one. But I'm looking around at me and I'm thinking there's a few more that I've said that about, North American Mitchells and Buccaneers and things like that are still sitting in their boxes. So that's it from me for now. I think I'll try and do another video sooner rather than later. I mentioned getting out and about just now. Last week I had a nice visit to the Battle of Britain Memorial down at Capel de Fern in Kent. It's not the museum part isn't open at the moment, but the actual memorial itself is accessible from public access, so you can still go and pay your respects and see the statue there. Last Sunday I took my two sons and my mum down there, and astonishingly we were treated to the spectacle of two Spitfires from Biggin Hill flying over us. They came over, went out over the sea, turned, came back, and then they split, and one went back to Biggin, and one went out over to the English Channel and took somebody for a very, very pleasant ride indeed. So that was a good day out. Highly recommended if you can. It's I know it's right down in the furthest southeast corner of England, but if you can get down there at any point, really is worth seeing and being there, and just thinking about those lads that fought for our freedom all those years ago. So that's it. Stay well, chins up, and happy modelling. Whatever you're building, I hope it's going well, and I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you enjoyed this video. And from Pete's Plastic Playground, I'll start that again because I haven't said it very often. From Pete's Plastic Playground, goodbye for now. Okay, all the best everyone. Cheers, bye bye.